How much do you believe you know about Simon Cowell outside of his straightforward and uncompromising television persona? What if we told you that the famous person had a completely different side that you may not have noticed previously, a more tender side to him? Simon Cowell, who has spent the most of his life in the spotlight, is a workaholic who prioritizes his career over all other aspects of his existence. He made this choice because of severe agony he had endured earlier in life, which had threatened to make him a reclusive person. Nonetheless, recent disclosures have shown a significant shift in Cowell's life, which we will examine in this video. Simon Cowell is renowned for his harsh criticism and severe manner, earning a reputation as one of the most difficult judges on television. He has developed a unique approach through his brutally honest and occasionally caustic critiques of candidates from a number of well-known talent contests. From his time as a blunt-spoken judge on the UK's original Pop Idol show, Cowell swiftly made a name for himself by speaking his mind. He became known as a television personality who never holds back when expressing his ideas, and people were afraid to challenge him. His participation in American Idol, where he famously rejected performances that fell short of his expectations, helped him gain further notoriety. He stands out from the other judges and is arguably one of the most significant reality talent show personalities of all time due to his candid demeanor and unreserved criticism of his competitors. The X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, and even America's Got Talent all featured Cowell's own flair outside of American Idol. Even though this frequently left his candidates feeling discouraged, Cowell remained direct and demanding on these shows, wanting nothing less than the best from them in order to help them grow. Some audiences admired his candor and believed he prepared competitors for the often difficult career they had chosen, while others thought him to be almost brutally honest. Cowell's strong judging style did influence his views and personal life. At first, he put off thinking about starting a family or having children because of his strong desire for achievement and perfection. He did this in a very public way to demonstrate that his lifestyle was unsuitable for a family and to reaffirm that his profession came first. He was emphatic about not wanting children because of his devotion to his job and the cynicism that comes with fatherhood. Since he saw work as an ongoing commitment that takes precedence over all other responsibilities, he was doubtful that a demanding job and raising a family could coexist. Unexpectedly, once his fiancée Lauren Silverman gave birth to their son Eric in 2014, his perspective started to change. As Cowell acknowledged, parenthood brought a new feeling of fulfillment and joy into his life, and the experience did in fact alter his outlook on the concept of family. Although he had to change his position on work-life balance and become a more accepting father, he remained dedicated to his career. Cowell's personal life reflected greater openness and balance, demonstrating evolution beyond the tough reputation his early job characterized him with, even though he still held candidates to a high standard in his shows today. Following the well-reported issue surrounding his relationship with Lauren Silverman, Samuel Cowell's personal life took a significant shift. Previously renowned for his unwavering dedication to his work and his standing as a strict, unforgiving judge, Cowell's unexpected romance with Silverman rocked both his private and public lives. The fact that Lauren was married to Cowell's common friend at the time, real estate tycoon Andrew Silverman, contributed significantly to the scandalous start of the affair. Their covert relationship, which included the shocking revelation of Lauren's pregnancy, caused tension in their respective social circles and sent the media into a frenzy. In the end, Lauren's pregnancy thrust the matter into the public eye. In addition to confirming their relationship, the announcement also revealed that her marriage to Andrew was failing. Because Cowell was a man who many people believed to have high moral standards, his actions were upsetting to the public. Therefore, the last thing anyone would have anticipated is getting involved in such a sensational situation. Those who had previously admired Cowell's seemingly unwavering morals were disappointed and criticized when newspapers pounced on the affair and the resulting pregnancy. From Cowell and Lauren to Lauren's marriage, the controversy caused by the affair had a lasting impact. Her marriage to Andrew swiftly deteriorated into an agonizing, widely reported divorce, The Silverman split received a lot of media attention, and Cowell was mostly held responsible. There was a huge public backlash, with many people who had admired Cowell for his unwavering moral integrity and sense of justice finding it hard to square his behavior with the image they were accustomed to seeing on TV. It appeared as though Cowell had thrown his old pals out and tarnished a once-respected name. Cowell was changed as a result of all of this intense scrutiny and the pressure it put on him. This encounter caused him to reevaluate his position on family and relationships. Cowell has long dismissed the possibility of having children because he believed it would interfere with his demanding work. The idea of being a father abruptly made him reevaluate his objectives. However, Cowell came to the realization that he could no longer keep his personal and business lives as separate as he once had when Lauren revealed she was pregnant, and the fallout from the incident began to affect each of them personally. For Cowell, accepting his new role as a father was a turning point. He started to reflect about his life, how it would be with Lauren and the child, and how he needed to stop being such a domineering character. Cowell did attempt to make amends after the initial public outcry by displaying a more sympathetic and involved side, first as Lauren's partner and later as the child's father. Over time, the episode had transformed from a stain on his character to a source of growth, ushering in a completely new era in Samuel Cowell's life, one in which his connections and family would become just as significant to him as his work. With the arrival of sons Adam and Eric, Samuel Cowell's life underwent an improbable yet drastic transformation. His life had always been filled with the responsibilities of his profession and other personal interests, coupled with his previous pessimism about parenting and all the public hints that he might never have children. In actuality, the arrival of his son signaled a complete metamorphosis in him that shocked his acquaintances. Fatherhood caused Samuel to restructure his life, allowing love, connection, and a new, incredibly satisfying family life to take precedence over an existence that had previously been so rigidly structured and regimented. Naturally, Samuel's early misgivings about having children were deeply ingrained and based on a strong feeling of loss. His parents passed away while he was quite young, a sorrow that caused him to become estranged for a long time as an adult. His pessimism about starting a family of his own was heightened by the early loss of his parents, which also brought with it a sense of lack of commitment to relationships and a potential fear of attachment. He harbored the hidden conviction that he could avoid the suffering that comes with strong attachments and inevitable losses by limiting his relationships and concentrating solely on advancing his job. He adopted a harsh, almost austere lifestyle for himself, prioritizing work above relationships, in part because of this emotional reserve. Samuel would frequently persuade himself that having a family could cause emotional issues that could impede his job, which he had fully committed to. Cowell had always dreaded the idea of having kids, but his relationship with Lauren Silverman and the eventual birth of their son caused him to reevaluate such cautious outlooks on life. Samuel was overcome by an unexpected affection right after the birth of his son. His outlook was significantly altered by the strong bond he immediately developed with his firstborn. He recognized in Eric the potential for the kind of connection and love he had lost, and that realization was slowly freeing him from his old anxieties. Soon after, Samuel's life was further completed with the birth of Eric. The sons gave life a new purpose, and the change in emphasis came easily to them. This is a new role that calls for adjustments to daily routines as well as mental adjustments. After having a rigid routine at first, Samuel had to balance playing with his son in the early morning hours and caring for him late at night. Additionally, he adopted Adam, Lauren's child from her previous marriage. He embraced the joy his sons brought into his life, became deeply involved with them, and learned every detail of raising them from Lauren. His office, which had once been a place of rigid order and solemnity, was now filled with family photos and drawings created by his boys, which served as silent reminders of how his world had changed. As he transitioned into his new, more active life, one that prioritized family time over work commitments, his tough exterior began to soften. Both friends and co-workers started to notice the shift in Samuel, revealing a much more laid-back and personable side of him than they had ever seen before. Samuel discovered a way to express his love and care for his sons, something he had never realized he was capable of doing. Every day spent with Adam and Eric taught him how susceptible he was. He found solace in the unvarnished, honest relationship he had with his sons and allowed himself to experience things he had repressed for years. He discovered that parenting balanced his personal development rather than impeding his career. He no longer thought that his life was determined by his career, after realizing that the love he had for his sons gave him a new type of power. Samuel found the sense of belonging he had been missing since the death of his parents in the comfort of a family life with Lauren and his sons. He had spent years living in a state of loneliness, as though his dedication to his work required him to forego his own happiness. But he found a profound and restorative serenity with his family, which filled the vacuum left by his past losses. He was ultimately able to recover and rediscover how to trust love again, thanks to Lauren's unwavering support and company. She served as the reassuring and stable base that helped him overcome his attachment and loss anxieties. In contrast to the life Samuel had ever imagined for himself, they worked together to create a pleasant and humorous home. Naturally, there were difficulties in this new life. Samuel had to face his old habits and a lifetime of uncertainty about family life. He did, of course, have moments of doubt, particularly when his work forced him to choose between his professional obligations and his responsibilities as a father. He was frequently caught between his professional obligations and his children's demand for his presence. He eventually managed to strike a balance between both demands. He got through this time thanks to Lauren's empathetic temperament and their shared dedication to family. Samuel got increasingly interested in his sons' lives as he made more and more changes. He enjoyed being a father and enjoyed taking the boys on weekend outings and bedtime readings. These moments with Adam and Eric turned into some of his most treasured memories, giving his life a depth and significance he hadn't expected. He found a new feeling of fulfillment and purpose in raising his sons and teaching them life lessons. He refocused his professional aspirations on his dedication to his family and took the time to learn how to prioritize their needs. The 5 traits Samuel had previously repressed, vulnerability, compassion, and emotional openness, were taught to him through parenting. His children helped him overcome the strict barriers he had previously placed around his heart and taught him to love life in a way he had never known before. He was thankful for this transformation in his life and content with the small pleasures that come with having family. Far from the distraction he had originally dreaded, he now understood that his family had brought stability, happiness, and fullness into his life. With Lauren, Adam, and Eric in his life, Samuel was able to get past his losses and discover gratitude for what he currently had. They filled his life with love and camaraderie, demonstrating to him that life was about more than what he had previously thought was important. Samuel's path from a reclusive, lonely judge to a devoted parent and partner was profoundly transforming, with life's unforeseen turns frequently leading to the most profound shifts. Given that Simon Cowell had been adamantly opposed to marriage for a while, many people were surprised to learn about his engagement to Lauren Silverman. Silverman and Cowell had been together for more than 10 years and had a son named Eric when Cowell proposed to him in January 2022 while on vacation in Barbados. Eric was even involved in the planning phase, so it was definitely a family affair. It was made much more memorable by Cowell's admission that his son coached him for the proposal. When it came to wedding planning, Cowell was a little more playful by making jokes. He disclosed that the majority of the procedure would be under his control. In order to keep certain things on track, he has taken command of a few items. He would undoubtedly want to ensure that nothing goes wrong because he knows him. However, the specifics of the wedding are kept under wraps after the engagement. Amanda Holden, one of the close friends in attendance, disclosed that Cowell has unexpectedly settled down after all these years due to his previous statements about avoiding marriage. She claimed that Cowell sent her a joyous text message, letting her know that he had become more serious about his commitment to Silverman. Although Cowell and Silverman haven't revealed their wedding date yet, their friends and supporters are eagerly anticipating it. Cowell appears to pay the same amount of attention to detail that he does to his television shows to his wedding, fusing his pragmatic side with just enough style to create a memorable day for Silverman, himself, and their loved ones. Simon Cowell is now one of the wealthiest people in the entertainment world thanks to the fortune he was able to accumulate during his career. Motivated by the tremendous success of programs like American Idol, The X Factor, and Britain's Got Talent, Cowell expanded his empire beyond television to include a record company named Psycho Entertainment, which has some of the world's best musicians as its artists. His present net worth exceeds $500 million, making him one of the wealthiest and most prominent men, in addition to being a judge with a talent for spotting future stars. In spite of his enormous wealth, Cowell once expressed an unexpected opinion about inheritance. He would seriously think about donating the majority of his estate to charity. He made this choice in part because he thinks that money must be earned rather than inherited. Cowell stated that he hopes his wealth will have a positive, long-lasting effect and that he is willing to donate to any charity that inspires him. This charitable inclination aligns with his desire to provide chances and aid the underprivileged, particularly in relation to music and the cultivation of talent. However, Cowell has stated that he plans to provide for his son Eric, even though he is thinking about donating a significant portion of his wealth to charity. Since Eric is the only biological child in Cowell's life, Cowell is obviously expected to feel a strong bond with him. In fact, Cowell's life has changed a lot since Eric was born, and he now goes to red carpet events and other high-profile events with Eric. Cowell talks to anybody who will listen about how Eric's arrival gave him a new sense of purpose and happiness, describing their incredibly close friendship as something extraordinary. To make Cowell nicer and more focused on his family, Eric even smoothed over the jagged edges he used to show. Given this, Cowell will undoubtedly provide him with whatever he needs to advance in life. Although Cowell has not made any public announcements about his estate plan, it is generally assumed that Eric will be taken care of, even if Cowell chooses to donate the majority of his fortune to different causes. All things considered, Cowell's wealth is a testament to his success and morals, and the fact that he is supporting his son while also donating a sizable amount of his income to charity strikes a balance between his duty as a father and his desire to give back. This kind of thinking highlights Cowell's continued transformation from a man who was formerly largely recognized for his severe opinions to a father who thoughtfully considers his family and aspires to leave a lasting legacy. We'll see you in the next episode. That concludes this one.